Breaking news tonight as two LMPD officers were shot in the Smoketown neighborhood.
Continuing our team coverage right now, WDRB's Richard Essex live near the scene on Rose Lane Street where this all started, and Christy Batista at U of L Hospital where a briefing with police and the mayor just wrapped up. Let's begin with you first, Richard. What are you seeing out there?
Well, we still see a very heavy police presence concentrated on that townhouse that's about a block south of us. We are at Jackson and Lambton Street. We could see maybe 10, maybe 12 SWAT officers that are stationed behind that armored vehicle. We believe there are just as many behind that house. Now, we did hear the deputy chief say earlier that there were a couple of other people in that car, and that one of the suspects had been taken to the hospital, had been shot. What we don't know is who pulled the trigger inside of that car. From what we had heard earlier, that there had been a suspect that had ran into that house. There's been a lot of concentration there for the past 2.5 hours or so. And just to give you an idea of what we're looking at, from on Jackson Street, from about Broadway, about 3 blocks to the south, everything is shut down. The police have overtaken everything. All the side streets are completely shut down. You cannot come in or out of here. There's a number of people that have been cordoned off over on the other side of Jackson Street, just about 2 houses down from that house. We believe those are the people who live in the adjacent properties. We're still there's still a lot of questions. We don't know who is in there, how many people. We don't know if they're communicating with them, but it has been eerily quiet out here for the past hour or so. The police being stationed right, you can see the light they keep shining a bright light onto that property. We don't know if they're communicating with somebody inside or if they're waiting for somebody to come out. But we keep looking for them to maybe make some kind of entry into that house, and when they do, we will certainly have it for you. Gilbert, back to you in the studio.
All right, Richard, thank you.
And now let's head on over to WDRB's Christy Batista, who is live at University Hospital right now. Christy?
Guys, we just heard from Mayor Craig Greenberg and Deputy Chief Emily McKinley, who say 2 officers were shot tonight. One was shot in the hand, the other was shot in the leg. Both of them are doing well. We are told they are in good spirits. And they are on the road to recovery. Their families were here visiting. I mentioned to you earlier that it seemed like some family members were being escorted by police. We were told that the officers' partners came and visited. What we also learned, kind of what led up to that shooting. We heard that officers tried to pull over a stolen vehicle. There were multiple people in that car. They say there was a gun inside that car, and a suspect, one of the people in the car, was struggling with officers for that gun. That gun went off. The 2 officers were shot. A suspect was also shot. That suspect was taken to Jewish Hospital. That suspect also doing well, is also stable. We were told the 2 others in the car took off, but police were able to track them down. They say there is no threat to the public at this point in time, even though, as Richard mentioned, there's still a very active scene. We were told here that all parties are accounted for. They mentioned that a lot of the dangers that go into what they called proactive police work. They said they were grateful that no one else was hurt in this process. But I wanted to give you a little bit of an idea of what we saw here at U of L Hospital when we pulled up around 9 o'clock. Dozens of police cars here. There were even police cars from other agencies, U of L and Shepherdsville. It was a very hands-on deck situation here. Of course, at that point in time, we didn't know the severity of the injuries, but we do know that everybody came here to support those 2 officers who were not on the scene. But again, one was shot in the hand, the other was shot in the leg. There is a press conference that was already scheduled for tomorrow for other things for LMPD, and we are told we are going to get an update. We weren't told if we're going to learn who those officers were, but we were told that we will get more of an update tomorrow afternoon before that scheduled press conference, guys.
Christy, thank you. As is policy with LMPD now, because there has been a critical incident where an officer fired their weapon, the body camera footage will be released to the public. The department has the option to do it sooner, but by policy, it is 10 business days. All right, Christy, thank you for your reporting tonight.